It's your girl JT and Tony Rambles, and this is the Living Numbers Podcast.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. This is the Living Numbers Podcast, and I am your host, Tony Rambles. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I have a former colleague of mine, at least indirectly. And we've been knowing each other for a while here. But y'all know, first thing we got to do is we got to do some housekeeping. Make sure you like and subscribe, share. This is episode 35. We're coming up on a year. I got something very special planned for like my anniversary kind of episode. That's probably going to be like episode 36. Yeah, episode 36. I got something planned. But make sure you like, share, download, subscribe, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen. Follow me on IG at _Tony Rambles _. And you can email the show, TonyRambles@gmail.com. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Yep. All right. So, of course, when I have someone on for the first time, they have to have an intro. These are usually things that I find out about someone. She's laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. She has not heard these things.
Well, I mean, I'm JT. That's
Hold on, wait. You don't say it. I said the intro.
Oh, you say the intro.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, this is JT, which the name no longer makes sense. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. I get you now. I'm with you now.
Okay. Graduate of University of Houston. Shout out to Quentin Grimes, right? 2010 Lone Star Intramural All-Star. I don't know if she was an all-star. She's an all-star in my book, though. I don't even know if that was like a real thing. Okay, former educator, hooper, and volleyball coach. One of the quietest, most chill people that I know. An NBA enthusiast. JT, say hello to the people.
Hey, guys. That was pretty cool to listen to.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was cool. Like, oh, is that me? Yeah. I mean, no, but yeah, I'm a former educator.
Yep.
Basketball fanatic.
Yes.
And thanks for having me.
Of course. So when I was thinking about doing this episode, and like, we just kind of text back and forth throughout the season. We don't talk a whole lot during the summertime unless something happens. But once NBA season starts, I know that we'll connect back. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, the Westbrook thing went down, and she'll just send like some eye emojis, just like, uh-oh, did you see that? Okay, so I couldn't think of a better person to have on for the kind of midway point NBA All-Star trade deadline, who's real, who's not episode.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. Can't wait to get started.
Okay. Where you want to go first? I see you have some notes there.
I think I really want to go with the 75th anniversary team. That's something that's been bothering me. And so I want to get your take on it.
Okay, so our first number, 75. 75th anniversary team, 75 players, and the quote-unquote best 75 players made the list. Okay, this list came out some time back, but she's here now, so we're going to talk about it now.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll let the ball be in your court. So go.
Well, for me, when they said 75th anniversary team, and then I saw the list, I was a little puzzled for a couple of guys that were left off. If you are on an anniversary team, and if you are a pioneer, that should go across generations.
Correct.
Therefore, some of these people are not qualified to be on the list.
Ooh, yes. Like you look, okay, like so I'm looking at the list here.
Okay.
And you look at a guy like Dr. J, like he'll make any NBA list that you want to put together.
Right.
What is that called? That's a pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what was those other two words?
Shape, define, redefine.
Exactly. He did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question.
If you look at a guy like, obviously, LeBron.
He got to be on the list.
Allen Iverson.
Has to be on the list.
We're not even going to talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan clearly is number one on every list, NBA related. But even a guy like Kevin McHale.
Right.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, and you may have to do homework on some of these names. But when you do, you'll see that they are pioneers. Because if there's no Charles Barkley, there's no Draymond Green.
At all. And George Mikan, like the first big man that dominated. Like you could never take him off of a list.
He has to be on the list. Speaking of big men, which I'm itching to get to.
Okay, go for it.
Anthony Davis. Is this man a pioneer that has shaped, defined, and redefined the game?
I would say no.
No.
Not at all. I mean, he has one championship. He's really, really good in New Orleans. But if you want to talk about like dominant, transcendent, talent-wise, he's got all the talent in the world.
He does.
But actual
he doesn't put fear in
production,
heart.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Which for me, and maybe this person shouldn't be on the list either. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel that Anthony Davis could definitely be swapped out for Dwight Howard.
No, Dwight, I feel like 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
The only thing he didn't do, well, he just got a ring in the bubble, but
that counts. I don't want to hear nobody talking about the ring, the championship ring counts. Because remember when the Spurs won one of their rings and it was a lockout season and they played like 52 games. Nobody brings that up. The Heat won the lockout ring. Nobody brings that up, right? So I don't want to hear all this bubble stuff, this bubble nonsense. They all count.
And if it counts, his credentials
stand alone.
So he has to be.
He 100% belongs on the team, but people don't like him, and that's why he didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean.
But that's not what it's about.
Yeah, it's about shaping, defining, redefining, and I think he did that. He was unstoppable for what, 3-4 years at least,
with no offensive moves, none.
Dunking on people's heads. But
you can't tell the story of the early 2000s NBA without talking about Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your next guy you feel like was left off the list?
Left off. I'm gonna say Tracy McGrady. I feel like
man, he was so good.
He was like KD before KD.
I think he is one of those guys that kind of belongs like on the bubble. Mm-hmm. Just because of the injuries, it's kind of like a what if story. Because as great as he was, it's kind of like was he great enough to take one of these guys off? Because that's also the question.
And so for that, I would say if you have to add him, you need to probably take off either Damian Lillard or Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh, I think you got to take off Dame.
Because
he hasn't done anything.
The only thing he's done is shoot from the logo.
Yep. For
like 1.5 seasons.
100% agree.
He hasn't produced in the playoffs. He hasn't won MVP, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope, he has not.
He hasn't gotten a scoring title.
There was times where he was left off the All-Star team. Like, he was struggling to make All-Star teams.
Yeah, he's not a consistent player. So why is he on this list? I'm very offended by this, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that.
T-Mac or Dame Dollar.
And I think that maybe by the end of Damian Lillard's career, he could possibly surpass T-Mac. But also with T-Mac, you kind of looked at him like, dang, is he the best player in the NBA? It was like him or Kobe.
Yeah.
At that point in time. You never thought Dame was the best player in the NBA ever. Mm-mm. You never even thought he was the best point guard because Steph Curry's always been around.
And that's another thing. I mean, I don't see how both of these guys make the list, Steph and Damian Lillard. It has to be one or the other.
I mean, no. Steph clearly belongs on the list.
For sure.
No question.
For sure.
Dame, he didn't have the accomplishments.
Yeah, he hasn't done much. He just had a good couple seasons.
I mean, he's been a really good player, but not enough to surpass T-Mac.
Not enough to come before T-Mac, Vince Carter,
Dwight Howard.
How does Damian Lillard make the list, but Klay Thompson does not make the list? Now,
Klay Thompson's tricky, I think. But I think that his team, that Warriors team, has shaped, defined, and redefined. But as far as like Klay Thompson alone as a player, he's another guy that's kind of like.
But if you put him
go. Yeah, go ahead. Say that.
If you put him on any other team, does that team now become a contender?
No.
No?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
If you put Klay Thompson on the Lakers right now, they don't.
I mean, like him as the guy, number one.
And I guess that's the thing. Until he is the guy, we'll
never see that.
If he can be the guy.
I don't think him and Steph Curry are going to split up.
They probably shouldn't.
Because this is the thing also. We didn't know if Steph Curry could do that, but we just saw it over the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. Where you go, dang, okay, if Steph Curry didn't have Klay, or if he didn't.
He can still do it.
He can still do it. Klay Thompson, puts Klay Thompson on freaking the Wizards. Swap him out for Bradley Beal. Is that team doing anything?
Probably not.
Heck no.
Probably not. Okay, I give you that. But I'm still sticking by T-Mac has to be on the list.
For sure.
Kawhi.
I like that. We took Dame off for T-Mac.
We took Dame off for T-Mac. We took Anthony Davis off for
Dwight Howard.
So then I ask you, guys like Spud, Muggsy Bogues, and the Sean Kemps, like those, like, should one of the little guys be on the list? Because if you don't have them, you probably don't have.
Oh, you mean like Lillard. Reshape, define,
right? Because we have the big men.
Spud was the. No. You got Tiny Nate Archibald on this list.
Okay, I mean that's far back, but yeah. Okay,
yeah. He's. I mean, he kind of holds it down for the little guys.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's fine. Then I was looking for the dunkers. Wilkins.
Jordan's on the list.
Jordan.
He satisfies. What? Yes, Jordan.
I wouldn't even.
Jordan was smashing on people. Jordan was so great at so many things.
Yeah.
He's like super, super efficient. He has the super highlights.
But you put him in the dunker category?
Oh yes.
I mean, I know he was in the dunk.
He was dunking on people in games. Yeah, he's the dunker. Now, if we're talking about best dunker. Mm-hmm.
Because
Zach LaVine, man, he does some special stuff, man. That dude just floats.
Yeah, and it's sad that his team was bad for so long, so we didn't get to see much of him. But where is this list? Yeah, Zach has crazy.
Zach LaVine and Vince Carter are just, man. When you watch them, it's like something special. You don't feel like it's anybody that can do these things that they do.
And it's so effortless. Like
it's so effortless. They just float through the air.
It's like they're flying.
Okay, who else you got on there?
That's it. That's those. I was really upset about T-Mac. I was really upset about Anthony Davis really being on the list.
Right.
And I was questionable about Kawhi.
Okay.
I didn't think he really deserved that.
Okay. Who's your favorite player to watch? I know you just talked about Steve Nash. Would that be him? Just like
current of all time?
Just you could go all time, current. Just give me like 3 people.
I've always liked Baron Davis.
Ooh, sleeper. I got a sleeper for you too.
I've always liked Baron Davis and Steve Nash, of course, and probably it's probably gonna be a dunker. I'm gonna just say Ja. I'm gonna say Ja right now. Which those are 3 guards, but and it's crazy for me to leave LeBron off the list, but I'm gonna go Steve Nash, Baron, and Ja.
I think with LeBron, because he's so cerebral sometimes. He could slow the game down, and it's not necessarily like fun to watch. You respect it, but I mean, like the rock fights that they had with Boston, like that's not necessarily like fun. Right. I would say.
And he's not a great ball handler. He's a great passer, but
right, he's not like this super entertaining guy. Not the dunks and stuff, Okay. I will say favorite people to watch. Okay. My sleeper is gonna be Jamal Crawford.
Okay. Yeah.
Jamal Crawford will just straight
J crossover.
Just start mixing, and you're like, oh crap, here you go. I don't want to go like Steph Curry, KD. Like those guys are super easy.
They are, and
it's almost cheating.
Yeah.
But I gotta put Steph Curry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This dude, cause nobody was doing the thing where you go, no, that's not. That went in. Then they come down and do it again. Then they come down and do it again. You're like, oh my god, like this dude just hit 8 threes. He was hitting the 3 and turning around. I'm like, what?
Stuff that you would get put on the bench for. He out here.
Yes.
And the coach is like, go Steph.
It's like, wow. And then my last guy is kind of, because I'm still sitting here looking at this 75 anniversary. And I'm going to go the KD before KD, and I'm going to go with T-Mac.
T-Mac was...
He was so smooth, man.
Like, he came from Orlando to Houston.
Those Orlando years?
That dude...
It was crazy. But it's some players that's... Like, Melo was my favorite player at one point.
He shouldn't be on the list.
Shouldn't be on the list? He's got over 30,000 points.
Okay. Let's go back to the rubric.
Okay.
In what way was he a pioneer? In what way? Like, I was battling with this.
Well, I mean, okay, like, so this... Based on the rubric, you didn't necessarily have to be a great player.
True, which he is a great player.
Yes. But the thing is, if you're just going by the rubric and not going by, like, we want these all to be, like, top players, like actual players that were at the top of the league in their time.
Okay.
Because, like, if you were going to use that, then, like, Spud Webb will make the list. But Spud Webb was never a great player, but he did help to reshape the league.
Yeah. So
you still have to go with, like, okay, is this
a great player?
One of the plus the criteria. I mean,
or is it only... So I guess my question is, Carmelo, did he at least do one of the?
Yeah. Reshape.
Like, I'm trying. Was it his?
He forced his way out of Denver.
Type? Was it his like? Was it the way he scored? Was it like in what way was he unique, or like does?
I think the Carmelo LeBron tie-in, because like their through line is always together. So even with him, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo, I think actually
Dwayne made it
because they all came out at the same time. So that draft class helped to reshape the league. I'm reaching, huh? Okay. I think he was a great player though. By just without the criteria, he is one of the greatest players. Especially talking about 30,000 points. There's only been like 7 guys to do that.
He's one of those guys that great player, great numbers.
Never won anything.
And just, that's it. Go for the bag, go for the buckets. Bags and buckets. And I wonder if James is going to end up like that. Like 100%. If he doesn't make it work in Philly.
Okay, so.
He's the bag and the bucket guy.
Let's transition to our next number. It's actually 2 numbers. We had 16 trades in February. 57 players traded.
Okay.
So we're going to start there with James Harden going to Philly. My cousin Derek loves James Harden. Loves him. I've never been a James Harden fan. I think that he is lazy compared to his contemporaries. Now, we're not talking about oh, he made it to the NBA. Well, duh, yes. I'm talking about compared to the other greatest players in the league. We're talking about Kawhi. We're talking about LeBron. We're talking about, Steph. Kobe. Yeah. When you're in this group of top 5 to 8 players, okay, he's lazy compared to those guys. He comes in out of shape. He quit on 2 teams. In the playoffs, you always felt like he was going to melt down. So I've never been a James Harden fan. I respect the talent. He's a great bucket getter. He's a great assister of the basketball when he was on his stuff. But I've never been a fan of him. Okay, right. Go.
Everything you said is accurate, and he has all the potential in the world, which is why I would compare him to Melo. Is it just about the bag and the bucket?
Yep.
But something he did recently, as in like today or yesterday, makes me think that maybe something is clicking. He chose to sit out of the All-Star game.
Right. Because he got chosen last and he's out of shape.
He got chosen last, which was, he got picked last, but he's been out of shape for like 3 years.
Yes.
My issue with him...
On purpose.
That's the thing. On purpose.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
Come on now. Like, have you no respect for your own brand?
Yes. His brand is out of shape strip club.
Oh, strip club.
Bag and buckets.
That's all he's worried about. But now, the fact that he's gonna sit out of the All-Star game to try to get in shape, he's gonna probably come back 10 pounds lighter. And I think they might give Milwaukee a run for their money.
I think so, and not because of James Harden, because of the process.
Embiid is going crazy.
He was arguably the MVP right now, because if you look at like where their teams are going to end up, it's kind of him, Jokic, and Giannis. They're kind of the 3 guys that all have their hand on the MVP trophy. Giannis he's ridiculous. He is. But as far as Harden and Embiid are concerned, that pick and roll is going to be so difficult to guard because Harden still puts up numbers. His efficiency is down just because he did not care. Yeah. However, you're going to see a motivated James Harden now. So I think that that trade was great for both teams because Ben Simmons wasn't even playing. Yeah. So you basically traded Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and 2 picks for James Harden. Because Ben Simmons was not coming back to that team.
Which is another story.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Ben Simmons.
I just don't understand it. These entitled. How old is he? Like 21, 22 or something?
He's a little bit older than him. Maybe like 25.
He's that old? These young guys, man, they're just really entitled. Like, dude, you come into the league, you're injured,
can't control injuries.
But this is the entitlement.
Right.
Didn't he win Rookie of the Year and he wasn't a rookie?
Yep. So
you're just used to being handed everything that you want. Donovan Mitchell should have been Rookie of the Year.
Okay, let's continue. He should have
been Rookie of the Year. So Ben, he won that and he didn't really have to earn it. He was a second-year player and he won Rookie of the Year. So then you get your feelings hurt because you're not doing your job. Which you're not the only one that's not doing your job because Embiid could have played better. Danny Green could have played better. Tobias Harris could have played better, right?
Embiid, he left it all out there. I'm not mad at Embiid at all but Tobias Harris is the guy that's left unscathed in the whole thing.
2 thumbs down for that dude. He hasn't played since he got the trade to, bag in the bucket.
He was hooping in Detroit. I really liked when he was there. We had Marcus Morris, Drummond. I liked that team when Stanley Johnson was hooping. And then they broke it all up for freaking Blake Griffin. Okay. So you think Ben Simmons will be fine on the Nets? Because again, you're getting a motivated Ben Simmons now. I don't even know what that looks like.
I don't know what it looks like either because, Ben Simmons at his best is more athletic Draymond Green, right? And I think that he would. I still don't think Brooklyn would be successful.
Why not?
It's just too much going on. Steve Nash was my guy, but as a coach, I feel like he might be struggling to build the culture a little bit over there because he's not too far removed from the game anyway.
I mean, you got freaking Kyrie Irving, who
didn't he play with all those guys? He played with Kyrie. But you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to. I feel like sometimes it's hard to coach guys who you were just playing with 6 years ago.
6 years ago was a good amount of time. I think they respect him as a coach, but you got a wishy-washy guy, freaking Kyrie Irving, who's supposed to be, I guess, your second best player now. And then you had freaking James Harden, who came in out of shape, didn't care, didn't want to be there anymore. And you got KD, who is amazing, but he's kind of hurt often now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to build a culture when all your best players you can't really count on. I think KD is the least of your worries because if he's healthy, like he's hooping.
Yeah.
He's just a hooper. Like he's just trying to hoop. Like he don't care about the rest of that stuff. He doesn't. For the most part.
Yeah.
But James Harden and Kyrie Irving are wild cards if I've ever seen one.
Those two guys are pretty ridiculous.
What do you think about the fit though?
The fit. I think it'll fit.
I think it fits too.
Yeah, it'll fit. As long as everybody does their job. And he's going to run the floor. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to pass the ball. He's going to get dunks. And how I feel is he might even shoot the ball.
Okay, we're moving on to the next trade. We're moving on to the next trade.
He has a point to make.
No, I refuse.
If he comes out there shooting threes.
Bruh.
And making them.
Joel Embiid is going to be super mad.
Oh, man.
Doc is going to be super mad.
It's going to be a great battle. But I feel like he's petty enough to do that.
He'll come out the first game and shoot like 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
I'm going to need a chronological order. Okay. So, Porzingis to the Wizards.
That was a shock. I was very thrown by that. I don't think...
Do you think either of those teams got better?
I think it helps Luka with some of the pressure because Dinwiddie, he was on that Brooklyn team back when I feel like the culture was really good and they were a great team.
With Kenny Atkinson, yep.
But he's gonna help offensively, I think, for Dallas, but defensively, I don't know. Because they got rid of their height, Porzingis. But he wasn't a super great defender anyway. But
he used to be a good defender, not anymore.
Yeah.
I think that if Dallas is able to do some things that they want to do now, you're not having someone that's begging for the ball on the block like Porzingis wanted, or like he's kind of like mid-post. He gave up on the block. But they can really space the floor and just kind of run pick and roll, and everybody's gonna be fine with that.
Yeah.
Porzingis didn't always want to play that way, and now you get Porzingis. He gets to go to Washington. Bradley Beal's out with wrist surgery. He pretty much could do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He'll be the guy.
He'll be option number 1 and 2, at least until Bradley Beal comes back. So, I think it's a good move for both teams. I don't think either of them really got better.
Right.
I think they both got happier though.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
Okay, Celtics acquire Derek White for some picks. Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford. Do you care?
I saw them play the other night. Derek had like 15 or 17 or something. I don't think it made the Celtics any better. They still have some decisions to make.
I don't really care about this. Derek White will be a better fit. He's better than those other 2 players, but who cares? I don't trust the Celtics at all. I think they should have traded Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons is right, then I like him next to Tatum. Yeah.
See, I never thought about that one.
Yes, sir. And then Jaylen Brown with Joel Embiid. That's a W.
That would have been interesting.
Because
Jaylen can get buckets, and he's a good defender.
And I want to see Jaylen on his own team. I don't want him to get stuck in like the Klay Thompson role.
Yeah.
I think Jaylen is good enough to have his own team.
So Jaylen is better than Klay?
I think he does more than Klay. I think he's been given the opportunity to do more than Klay. So we've seen him drop to handle the offense, can bring the ball up and all that stuff. Klay, he's just not that kind of player. That's why I don't think he's a number 1 guy, but he can have kind of like super high level number 2 impact. He can have number 1 impact on nights.
Yeah.
But his play style is not a number one guy play style.
And I wonder if in the future that'll be the reason why they break up. Is he gonna want to spread his wings and fly?
Who? Jaylen Brown? Klay Thompson?
Mm-hmm.
No, bro. He's like in his 30s.
You think he's good?
He has 3 rings. No. Clay's not that kind of guy. From everything that I've heard and read, Clay is like, bro, I just want to win. Like, what are you talking about? Why would I leave Golden State? It doesn't make any sense.
He's a funny guy. Clay.
Okay, we're not going to talk about this. Daniel Tice goes back to the Celtics. Schroeder, Freedom, nobody cares. Schroeder, never been a big fan. The Bucks get Serge Ibaka and some picks.
I think they kind of so when they lost PJ to the Heat, I think they weren't able to kind of fill that.
Replace that. I don't think he fills the role of PJ, but he does give you another big guy that can maybe do some shooting. I don't know how
he can do a little bit.
Healthy he is at this point. He had the back surgery.
He might not have to do too much. He might get you 10 and 8, something like
maybe.
that.
Okay. A couple of my Detroit guys got traded in this one. Trey Lyles, Josh Jackson went to the Kings, and they get Dante DiVincenzo.
See, I like Dante. I liked him. I think he's a good role player.
I think everybody likes him enough to want him, but doesn't like him enough not to trade him again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Marvin Bagley goes to Detroit. Reclamation project. Now remember, Josh Jackson went to Detroit and kind of rebuilt his equity. He was hooping over there. So I think, because they have what's that man name? Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
Is the coach over there.
Yeah.
Now if he's gonna get the best out of everyone.
Yeah, he's gonna hold guys accountable. He's gonna make them play.
He's gonna make them better. If you go over there and you're not hooping, you're done. Just go to the G League.
Yeah.
So I think with that kind of backdrop, Marvin Bagley's gonna be a better player when he gets to Detroit. Okay. And if he's not, he's washed. He's done.
And that was the number 2 pick, wasn't it? Number 3, number 2.
I think he was number 2 after DeAndre Ayton.
Huh.
Ahead of Luka, ahead of Trae Young.
He gonna have to do something. He gonna have to. Sheesh.
Yeah, that's tough. Montrezl Harrell goes to the Hornets.
I don't understand why people keep sleeping on.
Because his defense is terrible.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who are getting cooked on defense, but sheesh. I mean, he just brings toughness and
energy.
He cares. He's not scared.
I like him as a backup center, not as a first center.
I think I like him as a 4.
His role in with the Clippers was perfect.
Yeah, he was playing great basketball over there.
He had a guy that was playing pick and roll with him, throw some lobs. He was good, but he got the bag, and people took him out of that role that he was so great in.
I like him as a player, but I don't see how he's gonna help that team. I don't know.
He's a bigger presence. I mean, the guy that they're playing at center right now is PJ Washington. He's like 6'7", so he'll give him some inside presence, but it didn't really move the needle. I really, really like that Hornets team.
Yeah, they're scary. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs, or the because you just never know what you're gonna get. The other day,
they're gonna make you run. I know that.
What's his name? The kid with the blonde hair. He's from New Orleans. He went to Oubre. That dude dropped what he did. I think he hit 10 threes or something.
Kelly Oubre. He just a hooper. He don't always fit with teams, but he just hoop.
Yeah, he does.
He's streaky. Torrey Craig to the Suns. I think he's gonna help that team. But the story here is Jalen Smith, that guy that they drafted. That gave them nothing until this year. He was hooping a little bit. They said, "Get up out of here, dog. We need somebody that's gonna play."
So what happened to their guy, Cam Payne?
He's still there.
I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Yeah, Cam Payne's still hooping.
Okay. Okay. Torrey Craig.
I mean, Aaron Holiday went to the Suns. I mean, nobody cares about that. Thaddeus Young went to the Raptors from the Spurs. That's not really going to make a difference. The difference here is Gordon Dragic is going to get bought out by the Spurs. And then he can go anywhere.
I've heard his name floating around, especially around the Lakers.
Yep, they need him.
I like Goran.
Yeah, hoop.
He's gonna go get the buckets.
Yeah.
Which he kind of actually Reeves kind of reminds me of Goran.
Ooh.
I like Reeves. Reeves can go.
They said he might go back to the Heat.
Goran?
I mean, what team wouldn't want Goran Dragic? The Bucks might go get him. He's gonna be there.
He needs to go to the Bucks. If he goes to the Bucks, they coming out the East.
Again, you think so? Because of Goran Dragic?
Man,
I like him too, but
because he fits that culture over there. He fits the Heat culture. He fits Milwaukee culture.
He's gonna fit anywhere.
He can help the Lakers
because he can score. He can get people organized. He can run point like real point guard, or he can go. Mm-hmm. He can shoot. He don't have to play with the ball in his hands. He could play with the ball in his hands. I like Goran Dragic. Yeah. I hope he goes to the Lakers just because.
They need some help. Oh, they need to come off. I mean, but they're stuck with Taylor now. But that dude, somebody needs to sit him down. Like, he got to play better. Just has to.
I mean, we're talking about like Taylor Horton Tucker. Like, this dude is not what people really think he is. You know what's happened to him? The same thing that happened to Kyle Kuzma, where they had kind of like a good rookie year, and then you expect this person to be like really good, and then they're not actually that. Yeah. I don't think he'll ever be like. Do you see him like hooping like that? No.
I think I like the comparison because Kuzma, that rookie year he was going.
He was hooping. He was shooting the ball. He was doing everything without. That was before LeBron got there. Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, I mean, he's playing okay in Washington, but anyway, yeah.
You can't be a big wing that need the ball and play next to LeBron.
But then you don't do nothing with the ball. Like a couple nights ago when they lost against the Warriors, he's passing up layups. He's passing up threes. He's turning the ball over. He's blowing layups. He needs to be on the bench.
He's straight. I think you're depending on this guy to be like your third best player. He's not.
No, I just need him to score like 14.
No, he's not a 14. He's not a consistent 14 a night guy. No. Monk is. I kind of like that guy.
Yeah. Monk should. The only reason I might want him to start, but you need somebody off the bench. I might want Russ to come off the bench, and I need Monk to start.
Do we want to talk about the Lakers?
I'm sorry. Russ needs to come off the bench.
Okay.
Just so he can, and then once he gets back to the old Russ, then maybe.
The old Russ is gone. This is Russell Westbrook.
Well, he's an off the bench guy.
I think he's an off the bench guy too. Russell Westbrook is. Okay, let's talk about the Lakers for a second.
I mean, Melo embraced it. If Melo can embrace off the bench, Russ can.
I think that Russell Westbrook has not bought into I am not the guy anymore. Carmelo understands now I'm not the guy. I have to come off the bench. My job when I get in the game is to get buckets.
Yeah.
Okay, and play smart. And I mean, clearly he's giving up on defense. Even worse. But Russell Westbrook still thinks he's like one of those guys, and he's not. So I like this thing Coach Popovich used to say is, I want guys who've gotten over themselves. And Russell Westbrook does not fit into that category, because if he did, he'd be playing different. Because a guy that's gotten over himself in Russell Westbrook's shoes, he'd be cutting, he'd be screening, he'd be playing defense, like he'd be on people's behind on defense, because he has the athleticism.
Yeah, he does.
He has everything that you need to be a good defender, but he's just not, because he doesn't care. Because he's all about Russell Westbrook getting buckets, triple doubles. I want the ball in my hands. It's like those people that's tired when they got to play defense, but if they got the ball in their hands, they're not tired no more. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
So until he realizes that, he's gonna be a minus everywhere he goes. Unless you send him to Portland, he play by himself and do whatever he want.
Yeah.
Of course, that would be a Dame swap.
Oh.
But Because you look at a team like Portland, that ownership, they don't want to just tank.
Mm-hmm.
They've never wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Lakers don't even have anything to offer Portland for Dame. If they go, okay, we'll take Russell Westbrook off your hands. What else you gonna give us to take it?
They can send Avery Bradley.
No, he's old. They send your boy Taylor Horton Tucker.
Yeah, they send him.
And that's like a second and a first. Like they don't have enough. You can definitely get way, way, way better deals for Dame somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you just gonna have to. I mean, like you said, it's gonna have to be a mindset.
He's just gonna be terrible, and the Lakers aren't gonna win anything. Let's see, any more trades that mean anything? Bobo, nobody cares.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I think with all the guys who are injured, I mean this trade, it just didn't, it just wasn't fun to watch.
What about C.J. McCollum to the
go?
Pelicans? Brandon Ingram.
C.J. If Zion never comes back.
Then move the needle for you?
I don't think so.
There'll be
CJ took a step back. I mean, he was playing some great ball.
I mean, he had that collapsed lung though this year.
I guess
he's barely
that's
played.
Significant.
Yeah, that's probably going to affect your game.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the Pelicans until Zion comes back and we see.
The Pelicans, they just need to move to Seattle. Nobody wants to play in New Orleans anyway.
That's interesting.
People liked playing in Seattle.
Yeah.
The Pelicans, like nobody wants to play there.
Yeah.
Like the city is, I'm not gonna say anything bad about New Orleans. I'm just saying, just go do some research. The city is having a hard time, and nobody wants to go there.
Yeah.
So, you go get CJ, and your team is better for sure. But I think this team wants to win. I think he'll help them win, 100%.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, CJ and Brandon.
Zion need to get himself together.
That dude.
All the stuff that you hear, you like, man. I thought this guy loved basketball.
He does not.
He sounded like freaking James Harden.
Yeah, and the thing too is he was so young, and we don't know like who's in his corner.
Who's in his ear talking to him,
and more of the entitled young kid who's highly sought after. He went to Duke. They didn't do much, but still.
But the thing, like when he was at Duke, right, and he could have sat out the rest of the season. He didn't. Like, he wanted to play basketball. This looks like a guy who loves playing basketball.
That was before the bag. He probably had a little mini bag, but he probably had some under the table bags. But now he got a real
he's in NBA.
bag.
He's a number one pick. I don't know. I think he's just young. He doesn't understand like what it takes to be like this professional.
Yeah, he doesn't have I don't know who his vet was, or even have a vet. Like when you're the number one pick, do you have a vet?
Of course, everybody has to have a vet.
I wonder who it was.
I think maybe it was just like immaturity. Like he didn't even understand yet. I hope he do now. Okay, I think this is the last trade. The Sabonis trade to the Kings. A lot of.
You can start.
Okay, so Tyrese Halliburton is like a lot of people like him.
Yeah.
A lot of people think he's going to be a superstar. I think his shot is a little wonky, to say the least. But he is very, very good, especially for a player so young.
Super confident.
Yes. And then you go, well, Sabonis doesn't play much defense. But he's kind of like a little baby Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Where you go 20, 12, 5, 6 assists. I'll take that. Sign me up.
You just can't let Buddy Hield go.
Buddy Hield?
You can't let him go.
Yeah, you can.
How?
Get out of here.
That dude is a bucket.
You like Buddy Hield, I see.
I mean, he's a bucket.
He is a shooter.
I guess if you had to get rid of one.
Buddy Hield been there. What have they done?
That's because they didn't. Like, if they could have gotten Sabonis without getting rid of him, I think it would have helped.
Man.
But I don't think Sabonis. I mean, they're going to be the same team.
You think so? You don't think Sabonis moves the needle like that? Mm-hmm. Dang, that's tough. I like Sabonis.
I guess we'll see. But I just don't. I don't see him going in there and leading anybody. And
heck no.
No, not those guys over there.
Okay. Ricky Rubio. That's too bad he's injured. Karis LeVert. I mean, nobody cares. I really like Cleveland. Like what they're doing. They're hooping over there. Norman Powell, Robert Covington, that trade. Nobody cares. Eric Bledsoe.
Wait, so Norman Powell went where?
Norman Powell and Robert Covington went to the Blazers for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson in the second round pick.
I would demand a trade out of Portland.
Okay.
You're going to waste your career over there.
Yeah. They cleared a lot of cap space, but don't nobody want to go to Portland.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you haven't gotten anybody so far.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were Dame? Where would you want to go?
I think I would, after being in Portland, I would want to go to a team that has a great organization. You know, I'd want to go
like the
somewhere.
Spurs. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes, I would go because when LeBron had to make his other decision, I just knew he was going to San Antonio.
No,
he's a big Pop fan.
No,
I think
after being eliminated by that team a couple times.
I mean, KD went to the Warriors.
Weakest move ever.
It really was.
You could have went anywhere but
I'm
there.
I'm still salty about that. You could have stayed in OKC one more year.
Heck no, don't stay in OKC. You can go anywhere else except for wherever LeBron was in the Warriors.
And who beat you?
In the Warriors. Those were the only two teams.
I mean, Dame, I would either shoot for, because he has a reputation of, you know, I want to get out the mud. I don't want an easy ring. So for me, go to San Antonio. If
he could find a way to get to the Clippers or the Lakers, because they both need exactly what he gives.
Right.
Kawhi don't want to play all the time, clearly, because he's hurt quite often.
And that dude is on the 75th anniversary team, man. I'm still salty.
I mean, he has to try to manage his body.
What? Okay, but
he doesn't have the knees to be able to. Because remember when Dwayne Wade just really couldn't play that much?
Yeah.
Like that last year LeBron was there. Like Dwayne Wade was a shell of himself. He couldn't play because he was always injured. So he's got to. Kawhi's trying to figure out how to do the same thing, which is like kind of manage it until you get to the playoffs.
So you got Dame. If he goes to the Clippers, they probably have to give up what?
I mean, who else could he go to? Like
Celtics? No?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they don't. Because Marcus Smart is wasting his time in the Celtics, man. He needs to go somewhere. He's a game changer.
Game changer?
I used to really, not hate him, but he used to really get on my nerves until I really understood what he's doing. He's just getting under the skin of the best player.
Yep.
He's playing hard.
Yep.
Leaving it all out there on the floor. You need those guys.
Man, if Dame could get to Milwaukee somehow, play with Giannis.
I don't think either one of them, like they really want to win on their own.
Yeah.
Or not on their own, but they just don't want to team up.
People keep talking about Giannis like did it the hard way. Like, no, Brooklyn got injured. That's what happened, or you would have lost to that team.
Like Kendrick Perkins said, he was one big toe away from being sent home.
Yeah, like all of this kind of got it the hard way kind of stuff. Like, bro, no, you got a break, and the narrative should be more of they got breaks, but everybody gets breaks.
Yeah.
Like it kind of has to bounce your way in order for you to get to a championship. It just does.
Yeah.
So
can you do it again? Can you repeat?
Can you repeat? I think Dame with the Nuggets.
Well, we got Jamal Murray.
Get out of here.
Is that guy ever coming back? I mean,
next year. He'll be back next year. Beginning of the season.
So you would trade those guys?
If I could flip Murray to get Dame? Absolutely. What? It's not even a question. You could take Murray and whoever else you want.
Dame and Jokic.
Gosh.
And then that little squad.
Whoever else you want, you can have it.
Huh.
Give me Dame. Because Dame makes your ceiling higher. Yeah. He can do everything that Murray can do, but better. Maybe Murray's a little bit better of a defender.
And I think Murray's more athletic, but Damon's a better shooter.
Damon's a better player.
A better scorer, yeah.
Okay. We are 1 hour in, and we haven't even talked about the All-Star teams. Okay, our number is 24. 24 All-Stars. Who do you think is going to win? So, I will go over Team Durant first, which Durant's not playing. Mm-hmm. Jason Tatum is playing in his spot. Mm-hmm. You have Joel Embiid, John Morant, Jason Tatum, Andrew Wiggins, Trae Young. That's your starting five. And you have LaMelo, Devin Booker, Rudy Gobert, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, DeJounte Murray, Big Cat, and Draymond. Injured. Draymond's injured. He's not going to actually play.
DeJounte is replacing him.
Right. Okay. Let's look at LeBron's team. Of course, you have LeBron. You have Giannis. You have Steph Curry. Do we need to say anybody else?
Those 3 names alone.
Do we need to say anybody else?
Those 3 names alone.
Jokic. And then DeRozan rounds out the top 5. It's not even close. I'm sorry. It's not even close.
If those guys actually play, like if they go and they play hard and they're not just goofing off, Team LeBron should win.
Exactly. But I'll make a compelling case for the other team. Let's finish out this one. Okay, Jared Allen is replacing James Fat Man Harden. Jimmy Butler.
Made the team anyway.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler. Luka. Darius Garland, who I love. Darius Garland. You know, he reminds me of Kyrie Irving.
He's good.
Go watch. Good. He reminds me of Kyrie Irving. Yeah, go look at it. You're going to be like, huh. And they're both originated in Cleveland, huh? Okay, Donovan Mitchell, your boy. Chris Paul, my boy. And Freddie VanVleet.
Now, Team Durant is going to have some nice highlights, probably. But if they play all out, it's Team LeBron. I mean,
this Team Durant has young, hungry guys. Now, Durant is not even playing. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, this game is... This is the case that I will make. You got Embiid, hungry. John Morant.
Those 2 guys.
Probably the hungriest guy in the NBA. Tatum, I feel like Tatum and Trae Young, I feel like have something to prove. Like, we do belong in this top upper echelon of players. Andrew Wiggins is there. He shouldn't be, right. But whatever. LaMelo Ball, whom I love to watch, hungry. Devin Booker is hungry in a different way. He's in that same category. Like, I have something to prove. Yeah, I'm one of the best players in the league. Gobert, who cares? Zach LaVine, I think he'll do his dunk thing. I don't think he's just, DeJounte Murray, another guy I feel like this is going to be hungry. Mm-hmm. First All-Star appearance.
It's going to be a good game.
Karl Anthony Towns. Hungry. I belong here.
Yeah.
So I think they have that on their side. But if we're just talking player for player, LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Jokic, Doncic. I mean, it's not even anything to talk about.
Yeah. But it will be a good battle. But yeah, it'll probably be team LeBron for sure.
I think so.
But it's gonna be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be any like walking around snowbirding and stuff like that.
I think, well, I guess we'll see how competitive it is in the beginning, and then if it heats up, if it stays close,
towards the end,
then they'll start hooping.
Because I mean, like you said, Devin Booker. I mean, he learned from the best.
Kobe never took it off. Took it easy.
So Devin is not gonna play around. Ja is not gonna play around.
Ja is coming at people's neck. He don't care. So, he kind of like Lil Giannis.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. They just
so with Giannis on the other side, it's gonna be a battle.
Good luck.
It's gonna be good.
Good luck. We have Giannis. It's like we have a Hulk. We have a Giannis. You do not. We're gonna win.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing we're gonna talk about here And we're going to talk about top teams, standings. Okay, so my question to you, I don't know if you prep for this one, is who is real? Like, who is the legit teams? And I'll put my phone here because this is the standings are there. You can see it. We're going to look at the East first. And the number for this segment is how many teams do you think can win the championship from the East? Who would you, out of these 15 teams, of course, we're going to eliminate Detroit, Orlando, Indiana, eliminate the Knicks, eliminate Washington. We'll even start 10 up. Atlanta, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Toronto.
Have a legitimate chance.
Who's legit?
It's going to be Milwaukee and Philly.
Wow, that's it?
I guess I'll put Brooklyn just because KD is on the squad.
Wow, okay, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn. Okay, so your number is three teams. Okay, go.
Yes. And I'm having a hard time with this because at the beginning of the season, I thought Miami, which they are sitting at number 1 right now.
Yes, the number 1 team in the conference.
But I thought Miami would be better because of their toughness. But I just don't think they can beat Milwaukee or Philly, which is, remains to be seen. But
Kyle Lowry, Jimmy, PJ Tucker, Bam.
I think they'll be able to. I don't think they could score. I don't think they could match the offense.
But that defense?
That's a crazy defense.
Who's scoring on them?
That's a crazy defense. But I mean, if anybody can score on them, it's gonna be Embiid. It's gonna be James. I might put them at 4 just off their defensive alone. And I did have them. I regarded them pretty high at the beginning of the season. But
what about Chicago?
I don't think they have enough.
No. I like Chicago, but especially with Lonzo, Caruso, those guys going out. They're just not it. I think them in Cleveland are really good stories, and they're cool. They're good to watch, and they're good teams. Yeah. But championship teams, I got Milwaukee, Philly, and Miami. I can't put Brooklyn in there because I don't know what I'm getting from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
There's way too many wild cards. Is Kevin Durant going to be healthy?
Yeah.
Is Ben Simmons even going to play? And how does he play? Is Kyrie even going to play? And how does he play?
Right.
Okay, and if you got a series in Toronto, he's not playing up there. Yeah. So he may not be playing in Brooklyn, and he may not be playing in Toronto either.
That's true.
So, it's too many wild cards on Brooklyn. Now, do they have Kevin Durant, who's one of the best, arguably the best player in the league? Yeah. Absolutely. But after that, and even with him, the injuries.
Yeah. So if KD plays and he's healthy, I'm comfortable with putting them. You know what? I'm gonna go my first mind, Philly and Milwaukee.
I think those are the top teams.
That's it. Just them.
Okay. Philly, Milwaukee. I think Miami is definitely that next team in consideration. Okay. Western Conference. This is it.
That Phoenix record, man.
Phoenix is... Okay. Eliminate Houston, OKC, Sacramento, San Antonio, New Orleans. Eliminate Portland. Okay, we go from there. So you got Lakers, Clippers, Minnesota, Denver, Dallas, Utah, Memphis, Golden State, and Phoenix. Who's real?
My first mind was to go 2, which is Phoenix and Golden State. Then I was like, it's a young man down there in Memphis that just does not take no for an answer.
Correct.
So I'm going top 3. I'm going Phoenix, Golden State, Memphis.
Wow. Okay. You think Memphis will beat Denver?
They can.
In the first round matchup?
I think that, yeah.
You think Denver can beat Memphis?
Yeah. When you got Jokic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good luck. I think Denver can kind of pull that out. As great as Jai is, Jokic is serious.
He also has a temper. And that's I think he gets in his because when we think about complete teams, right now Memphis is playing like a complete team. They're all playing for each other.
Memphis is playing awesome.
You know, their record. I mean, look at this. They're pretty close to Golden State. Like they're not too far away.
What about Dallas and Luka?
I don't think no.
Now remember, he bodied Kawhi Leonard in the Clippers the past 2 years. They just came up a little bit short. He never had like another.
Dallas can't get through Phoenix, and they definitely can't get through Golden State.
100% no.
So.
Not 100%. Because like Jokic, as long as you have a Luka.
Mm-hmm. But these teams are teams.
They're complete.
Start to finish.
They're complete teams.
Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's playing for each other. There's no even though Steph is a superstar, he doesn't act like. I mean, he's not a diva. He's not.
Okay, I have 2 teams. Phoenix is number 1.
Okay.
They have no holes. They have no holes on that team. You got Chris Paul, you got Devin Booker, you got the big man in Ayton that could punish these other teams with no big man. And I can never let go of LeBron and the Lakers. Because, like, this is always the thing.
Mm-hmm. Which I hope you're right. I really do.
Upside, you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. No one has an answer for that. Still, if you got both of these guys and they're right.
Right, okay.
That is always the thing. Now, is it a long shot? Yes. This team hasn't been right all season.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes when you have teams like, look at that Houston team that won the championship. They were a 6 seed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, if you have a talented team that gets right at the right time,
okay,
that's always kind of like the holdout with the Lakers. Like, they still got LeBron and AD. Like, what are we talking about? If those guys get right and Russ gets out of the way.
Yeah. The only thing Russell needs to do is get rebounds, run the floor, pass the ball. That's it.
No.
The occasional dunk.
He can run fast breaks. Everything else, don't. You stand in the corner. We don't want you making passes or making plays for anybody. If you get the ball, drop to the basket.
And throw a lob. He can do that.
No. Just drop to the basket, try to score. We don't want to put too much on his plate. Clearly, he cannot handle it. I like Phoenix the most, though. That team has no holes. They are rock solid, and they got Chris Paul.
Laser focus.
Chris Paul, man. My boy Chris Paul.
That's a leader. I mean, that's just... When you look at leader in the dictionary, his picture should be right there.
Right. Hacking somebody. Yelling at a referee.
Oh, my goodness.
Golden State, man. I really like this team. I just don't... Inside, man. They don't have nothing for Ayton. They don't have anything in there to deal with him. So, again, they have nothing in there to deal with LeBron or Anthony Davis.
Right.
At least not together.
Yeah, okay.
So that size makes a difference. We seen it with Giannis against Phoenix last year. They didn't have enough size, and Giannis just destroyed them inside. So, I feel like Phoenix will be able to take the advantage. I think Ayton has taken like a step since last year's finals that like I am here to stay. Like I'm hooping.
Yeah. I didn't think they could get better.
And they clearly
got
got
better. I
thought
last year was just it.
It's
and
a
they
fluke.
Came back better. Like
Hooping.
how do you do that?
So yeah. I mean I like Phoenix. I'm not Phoenix. I like Golden State. Like who doesn't love the Splash Brothers? Who doesn't love like what Draymond Green brings to that team? But I just look at the team, I'm like, they don't have enough talent on that team. Like, is Juan Toscano Anderson, is he really going to be like, is Jordan Poole, is Gary Payton Jr., are they really going to be those guys? Because the guys on Phoenix, we saw them do it already. We saw them get to the finals with Cam Johnson, with Cam Payne, with Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. We seen them get to the finals with their guys. Golden State, I feel like their role players, I don't know if they have enough.
I think they are.
I like Memphis role players better than Golden State's role players.
Jordan Poole is.
I like Jordan Poole. He went to Michigan.
And he's had to cool off some now that Clay's come back. So, like, that's probably going to be the thing, too. It's a different team now that Clay's back. And with Draymond out, it's a different team. So,
Kuminga, like, are you rookie Kuminga? I mean, Wiggins is playing fine. He's good.
Kuminga dude, did you see him the other night?
He can play, but in the playoffs, when the lights are the brightest, can you count on those guys?
I think they're well coached. And, you know, we talked about organization earlier. I think they're ready. Phoenix and Golden State and Memphis, what they have in common is organization, culture, well coached. Everybody's on the same page.
Yep.
And so, which is similar to what the Spurs have done. They just don't have the talent.
Yep.
So,
what about Utah?
I don't know what's.
Heck no, I don't fool with Utah at all.
I don't know
believe in them. Don't trust them. You know who they remind me of? They remind me of those Atlanta Hawks teams with Al Horford, Paul Millsap, Court. Yes.
I thought about Joe Johnson today. I'm like, how did he just not ended up getting 10-day contracts? I mean, that Atlanta team.
Yeah.
Josh Smith.
Oh gosh. Detroit gave him all that money.
Come on, man.
That's a good spot to end it. That's a good spot to end it. We're not going to talk about Josh Smith. We was paying him for like 10 years after they released him.
He never did anything. He ended up with the Rockets and did nothing.
Well, they had that run when they beat the Clippers when they came down from, was it a 3-1? It was a 3-1 lead. Mm-hmm. And they just went crazy. Okay, well.
It was fun.
It was great. I'm glad we could talk NBA All-Star Game. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, download, follow, of course, on IG at _TonyRambles_. Email the show, onetonyrambles@gmail.com. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I'm everywhere. This has been our NBA halfway point, trade deadline, 75th. We just talked, just all NBA, just roll.
Up until now. It's gonna be interesting. Like the second half of the season, like I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, it's a wrap. I will see you guys in the next Ramble. Living Numbers Podcast.